Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to all my colleagues. As we kick off Hispanic Month, I want to thank all of my colleagues who every year participate and support the many events throughout the city of Philadelphia. Personally, as the only Latino on council, I want to thank all of you for your support and your attendance at the many, many events and activities throughout the city. This week, Biden-Harris put out a plan on the renewal, recovery, and respect of Puerto Rico. It is not a statehood plan for Puerto Rico, but it does speak to the historical racial inequities that have existed on the island of Puerto Rico. Again, I want to thank my colleagues who during Hurricane Irma and Maria and the subsequent earthquakes for all of your support for PA for Puerto Rico and our recovery efforts on the island. Many of our corporate partners here in the city of Philadelphia, Einstein Hospital, PICO, AT&T, and others who stepped up. Why is the plan important? The plan is important because it's the first time a major ticket recognizes the situation in Puerto Rico and speaks to equity and funding on healthcare, education, infrastructure, and many of the items highlighted by the protesters in the recent months. I joined my sisters. I know that my council colleague will be hosting an event with Kamala Harris this morning in their sister conversation. As an Afro-Latina, I am very, very excited about meeting with her and Latino leaders to talk about this recovery plan for Puerto Rico. Why is it important? Because I think it speaks to the commitment by this ticket in particular to really use the federal government and its capacity to support marginalized communities, to support, to Councilman Johnson's point, to support people, American people. If the United States is going to regain its standing in the world around democracy, fairness, and equity, what it does with Puerto Rico will symbol that renewed commitment to making the American people feel pride in who we are and healing some of the divisiveness that we are all living under a pandemic. So I join all of my colleagues in saying what we see in gun violence, what we see in our city, what we see in these encampments is a result of a federal government who have left marginalized communities and cities like us struggling on our own. And I hope that over the next 50 plus days, people not only let themselves be counted in our census, but they let themselves be counted through their vote, and that the government is reminded that government is of the people and for the people. Thank you.